don't even know where to park. Again, just don't park in the... Look at this way. Like, he ain't get nowhere to go. Don't park him. Just don't park in the handicap spot.
Yeah, that's handicap.
No, man, you can't park in the handicap spot.
I can be that long. I can be that long.
Handicap spot,
Boy, what's going on, dog?
Well, I tell you we shouldn't park here now. This way park here, man.
I tell you we shouldn't park here. Don't get one of these things.
My bad, big bro. And he got a sticker inside this. This mud, though. We gotta move. This is a handicap spot.
That's what we gotta move.
But we gotta move. We can move right now. Sorry.
Be considerate. Don't use disabled parking spaces without a decal in your vehicle. This message is brought to you by the National Commission for Persons with Disabilities.
What does disability look like? In a busy airport terminal? At the check-in counter? At security checkpoints? Or even in baggage claim? Passengers with hidden disabilities often go unnoticed. Globally, 1 in 7 persons have some form of a disability. 80% of those disabilities are non-visible. In an airport environment, workers are often unaware of hidden physical, mental, or neurological disabilities that some passengers live with. This can lead to frustration and a less than ideal travel experience. So, how do we make the invisible more visible? At LPIA, we've implemented the Sunflower Lanyard program. The lanyards are visual cues for airport workers to immediately identify passengers who might need additional assistance. NAD is teaming up with the National Commission for Persons with Disabilities and key stakeholders at LPIA to launch the internationally recognized initiative. We're joining more than 180 airports and 26 countries already in the program. NAD is the first organization in the Bahamas to recognize the Sunflower Initiative. It's a way to show our continued commitment to making LPIA a safe, welcoming, and inclusive airport for all. Passengers needing to secure a free Sunflower lanyard can email sunflower@nas.bs or call 1242-397-8600. For more information, visit www.nassauLPIA.com.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.
Part really right now. Heidi is doing an excellent job hanging on here, staying right next to Harper.
And once again, if you're just joining us, there is Harper in lane 5 from Cayman and Heidi from Barbados in lane 6. Heidi is 13-14, so her time to beat from this morning is a 10:06 unofficially from heat 1. And Harper is in for that 15 and 17 category. But it is all bragging rights if you can win this heat, no matter your age.
And we have to also make sure that we're paying attention to the rest of the pool because everybody's position matters in terms of points for the overall championship. So it's going to be really interesting to see how this shakes out across the rest of the races.
Yeah, it really is a good mix because you could be racing somebody who's 16, but if you come in and touch 4th, you could have really gotten 3rd in your age group.
Yep. I wonder if they know who they need to beat, if they looked at that.
You see, that could be a good strategy, but on the other side, it could be a distraction as well. It really does depend on the athlete, and I think the coach has to know their athletes and know what pushes them and motivates them.
Definitely. I think my coach probably would be like, don't worry about it. I would get a little overwhelmed, probably.
Oh, that's hilarious, because my coach would be like, you see that girl in lane 2? Take her down.
So it looks like Harper's pulling away just a little bit here.
Just a bit.
They have 7 more laps left to swim.
A very long flip for Heidi. She's not getting close into that wall to get a good push off. But she's holding on to her nice, smooth tempo.
And you can see Heidi is swimming right on that lane line, so she could potentially be trying to draft a little bit off of Harper.
Yeah. Lane 3. Madison is moving into that 3rd position from Antigua, but she is being chased by Mia Pata. They're both 15-16, so that could potentially be the 1, 2, 3 that we're looking for. Unofficially, we have the times from this morning as well that we have to consider.
Absolutely, and you know, going into this race, they potentially knew, hey, Harper's going to be out. She's a 9:11, entered at a 9:11. Mia and Madison were entered with 9:40 and 9:45, so knowing that they probably won't be competing with her, but they need to try and get 2nd or 3rd.
Yes.
Definitely big.
Heidi is definitely falling back just a little bit as we see Harper picking up her tempo and her kick. She is definitely swimming her race with 5 laps left in this 800 freestyle. Madison is trying to pull away from Mia, but she is holding right a stroke behind her. Behind her entire body length in front of Mia.
And we have lane 0 here too that is coming up, and I'm not sure how much Madison and Mia can see her there, and so she is also in that 15-17 category, so also very important to pay attention to her.
I was watching Tilly from 0 in her preparation this morning, and she was actually going so fast she cut her finger.
Oh my God.
Before the race. So, I mean, you already want a perfect race. You already have the mentality to be like, okay, I'm going to do my best. But to have these unexpected incidences, it kind of throws you off mentally.
Yeah, I mean, I remember at World Championships seeing people that would break their fingers in the warm-up pool, just making a mistake, and you don't get to just scratch.
Nope.
You're out there to swim, so you've got to figure it out.
You gotta figure it out. I remember many times I was on the block for a 200 breaststroke and my suit just tore. And you're like, okay,
That's that. I vividly remember at Commonwealth Games in the 50 fly, I had long nails, and I went off the block, and one of my nails broke, and the whole race, all I could think about is, how am I going to fix my nail? And I ended up having a really great race.
That was a priority, though. Maybe you need that distraction.
Yeah. I ended up having a really great race. The whole race, I'm like, dang it. We were in Scotland.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't know anywhere I could go fix my nail.
Oh, that is hilarious. There is the cowbell. These ladies have 100 left.
And wow, it looks like Harper is actually turning it up a little bit, which is absolutely insane coming into this last 100.
She is definitely close to having a best time, whether it's going to be a record. She looks like she's going to fall short of that, but a great swim for her nonetheless. You can hear the spectators getting really excited for Heidi in lane 6. That's pulling up that 2nd position. But it is all Harper.
It looks like Harper is going to have a really great time here. She turned at about 8:30, I believe. So coming in with a 9:11 is definitely looking like she's tracking for her best time.
And you can see the difference right now is when Joanna Evans would have finished. So you can see her potential. Harper is definitely there to a force to be reckoned with in the future. But right now she is unofficially or CARIFTA champion. Coming in and stopping the clock.
9:02.
9:02. Very close to being under that 9-minute mark. That is a fantastic swim for her.
Ooh, and Heidi, 9:11, what was it? 9:11, 81, 1/100th. 1/100th of a second. Wow.
It's like we said. Harper went out and Heidi knew she had to go out with her if she wanted to be close to that record. And there it is.
By a fingernail.
There it is, that fingernail. She has unofficially gotten the 13-14 CARIFTA record from Joanna Evans. And she is excited. She doesn't even look tired at the end of this race.
Absolutely amazing swim by everyone. And as we were saying, the race is also important for 3rd, 4th, 5th. So very excited to see how that shook out there. waiting for the official times to get posted. It looks like there might have been some.
Lane 1 is coming in to end this heat. What a fantastic race.
Absolutely amazing race. I mean, 3rd through 8th is really very close, so.
Very close. And we had Tilly in lane 0. She actually did not have a time. And she ended up coming 4th with a 9:41.
Wow. That's a 20-second drop for her.
Yeah. That is amazing.
You hear everybody cheering for Heidi Stout here. Breaking that record by Joanna Evans. Sorry, Joanna. That record stood for 12 years. I think you're okay.
That's a really good record. That was the Barbados delegation really putting in all the cheers for Heidi. That was a fantastic swim. 0.01. And what it means as well is that even though you're at the end of a 800, you're extremely tired, you have to sprint into the wall.
Yep. Every second matters. I mean, if she had gone a little bit slower into that wall, it would have made, that's just a devastating difference.
Yep.
If you don't want to be on the other side of that.
If she had said, yes, okay, I'm second in this heat, I'm going to be first overall, that's good enough for me, she would have missed that.
Yep. So now we have the boys 13-17, 1500 freestyle going in. And again, we're going to see a mixture of age groups. It looks like the majority is that 15 to 17 age group, but we do have a 14-year-old Joey Schwartz. So we'll see how he kind of shakes out and swims his own race.
So if you were here with us this morning, we saw Lennox from Cayman Islands. He went a 17:46, and he's in that 13-14 category. And Joey actually got second last year. So he could have said, this is my time for this 13-14, but he has to look at prelims. Can I beat that 17:46 to get that top spot?
Absolutely, and he'll have to make sure that he's swimming a little bit of his own race because the lane 2 on the other side of him is entered with a 17:17, so almost a second or a minute faster than him.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
We want to make sure that he's not going out as fast as him because that could ruin his race.
It really is the beauty about distance events. It's a mental plan, it's a physical plan. And I feel like it's an emotional plan too. I will be crying now, Jerko.
I don't have the emotion. So you'll find that we are quiet during the starts, just out of respect. You don't want to make any noises. While they probably can't hear us, we want to be safe rather than sorry.
It really is a habit at this point.
Yeah.
You hear the whistle?
Everybody shuts up. Silent. You don't want to be the reason that somebody falls hard.
No, not at all. In lane 5 from Martinique, we have Kimani with a 16:19.90. He is very close to that record by Patrick Grotes from Aruba, where we could possibly see another record fall.
Also a very old record, so that would be interesting. That is, looking at that 13-14 record here, 16-17.
Absolutely insane.
From 2009.
And you wonder, as we spoke before about the ups and downs of sport and the challenges, we have Alan that did a faster time in 13-14 than he possibly did in 15-7, because then he would have the record.
Right.
So it's amazing just to see what happens to these athletes. They're really fast at 13-14. How does the development go in their federation? How does it work? And where can we get them to be at the international stage?
Definitely. I mean, I hope that Alan continued to swim. Maybe potentially he was so fast that he went to a bigger meet that was at a similar time. You have to hope.
Yeah.
But, I mean, 2009 is back when I was still
We were swimming. Not we, sorry. You were swimming. I had aged out.
Unfortunately, I'm pretty sure all of my records have been since broken, so I wasn't that cool. I wasn't quite as fast as Alan, apparently.
Apparently. We're going to have Zachary in lane 8 from Trinidad trying to take that early lead. We're seeing a very relaxed stroke. If it looks like he's not swimming, it really is about that pull underwater and that strength.
We're seeing a little bit of a gallop in that lane 5 stroke out of Kimani Bellinger. I find that in distance events, that used to be the favorite way of swimming, and I feel like recently it's changed a little bit to a lower, slow, or more smooth, flat freestyle.
It's a funny thing that you said that. So I looked up maybe like a week ago. And the change started with Ian Thorpe in 2000. So Ian Thorpe, if you don't know, is
Torpedo. Yep.
He's an extremely talented Australian mid-distance and distancer back in 2000, 2004. And what he did is change the whole dynamics of how you swim distance freestyle. So instead of that gallop stroke, he started to do more of, I'm going to swim right on top of the water, focus on that body position, and really made each stroke as efficient as possible. He was so smooth on top of the water. It's kind of like he was skiing.
I remember being able to watch him on TV and just being blown away by his strength underwater.
Yeah.
When you get at the bigger meets, they have the underwater cameras, so being able to see that as a swimmer and learn from that when you're not ever going to have like access to him.
Yeah. Yeah. And those were in the days when you could wear a full bodysuit. So he wore
arms.
Ankles to the arms. Whew, it was impressive.
Listen, ladies, if you've ever put on a pair of hose, do that times 10. That's what putting on those old race suits used to feel like.
So tight.
Knuckles
So
would start
tight.
bleeding.
So tight.
It was awful.
I saw him behind, I think it was a 2 free, and he was walking behind the blocks, and he had already finished. And he went up to his coach. He's like, I am not taking this suit off. Get the scissors and cut me out of it.
It's almost easier.
That's what he did.
And if you're sponsored, I'll get a free suit.
It's probably not going to wear it again.
Nope. That's the other thing, too, that people don't know outside of the sport. These racing suits are not cheap.
No, they're not.
We're talking about $400
At
for the
least.
suit, and you can wear them 3-4 times before it's really time to get a new one.
If you don't rip them on the first try. Extremely difficult. But you can, I felt like a superwoman when I put that suit on.
Oh, yeah.
Everything just sucked in, and it just, like, I am indestructible right now. We're going to see lane 5, Kimani, hold on to his lead with a 4:19. He's definitely going to try and push ahead of the rest of the pack, moving ahead of Anthony in lane 8.
It would definitely be awesome to see a record out of him today. He's entered with just a second off of the record from 2014.
Yeah.
So, decade old by Patrick Broders is absurd.
Joey in lane 1 is definitely swimming his own race. He's looking good. He's right on that lane line, but his challenge is beating a 17:46 by Lennox from Cayman Islands that did it in heat 1 of the prelims this morning.
Definitely a little bit difficult for him. He has to literally swim his own race here.
Yeah. It's really hard for him to pace or to even know where he is.
Hopefully his coach really worked on that. When you get to those points, I know a lot of my friends that were in distance, because I can't say that I ever actually trained distance. You get to a point where you know your stroke count.
Yeah.
So you know how many strokes you should be taking in that lap, and you can kind of time it out.
Yeah.
In sprint freestyle, we talk a lot about tempo. So I knew what my tempo needed to feel like in order to have a fast race.
Yeah. Do you have any background information on Zoe?
So it sounds like we are going to bring in Zoe Gibson for an interview here in just a moment.
And we're going to be doing awards for the 800-meter freestyle, 1,500-meter freestyle right after this swim in the water. Then that is separated out according to age group category. We will be presenting awards 13 to 14 and 15 through 17. So ladies, if you would please make your way over to the station area, getting ready for awards. The top 8 swimmers.
Zoe is with the Federation.
I can't hear now. That 1500 is looking really strong. Kimani is definitely trying to push away from the rest of the pack. But a very nice swim in lane 8. Zachary's We are being joined by Zoe Gibson-Bowleg. You are Deputy Director of Marketing for this federation, for Bahamas, for the LOC. What has it been like just being here, seeing all your hard work and all the sponsorship, everything that it takes to run a fantastic meet? How was that build up?
First of all, it's been an awesome experience. We've been really excited. We spent a lot of time planning and putting it together just to ensure that, you know, as soon as our athletes touch down in Nassau, from the moment that they leave, that it's an awesome experience. And so far, we're really happy with what's happened.
Yeah. You guys are going for your 6th consecutive win.
Yes.
How pumped and how motivated is that for sponsors to jump on board and say, yes, we want to be a part of that?
So not only is this going to be not only are we going for our 6th consecutive win, but it's fallen during our 50th anniversary of independence. And so we've been able to, you know, marry the two, and they did well last year, they did well the year before, but you know, in this 50th, we're going for our 6th. It's unprecedented. It's never happened before, and the sponsors have really jumped on board. And
Ariana can be a testament to this, and she can definitely answer as well, but how important is it for athletes to know that you have the support from the federations, you have sponsors that will come back again and help you to get to the international stage?
Absolutely, and to see the work that's gone on behind the scenes here, and knowing that you guys have worked tirelessly to get this together. This isn't a week's worth of work. This is months and months and months of effort. And so I know it's really great to see how the sport has changed. I mean, I was talking about being at CARIFTA in 2003, I believe, here in Nassau, and to see the growth that has happened in Bahamas swimming and really Caribbean swimming. Yeah. And I think it's a testament to what Bahamas Aquatics has done as well.
Definitely. But I would be remiss if I didn't mention some of our biggest sponsors.
Yeah.
We obviously have to thank the government of the Bahamas, the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture. They've been very instrumental in pulling off the games. We've worked very closely with them and their team. And everything that you've seen thus far is really because of them. The National Sports Authority, they've renovated the entire facility. This facility looks amazing. This is a world-class facility. The pool, I mean, when I saw it, I just wanted to jump in. And of course, Bahamas Aquatics, as you've said, has been very instrumental in ensuring that there are no hiccups during these games.
Yes. It's been a really smooth run swim meet, and I know it is a lot in part to the sponsors that have helped step in and really help this go off. This is also not a cheap event to do. So it's very important that we have sponsors that come in and really appreciate that, you know, especially in the Bahamas, where track and field is oftentimes the big sport. That's where everybody wants to put their money. To see these number of sponsors that we've had, you know, really being supportive of this team and of this meet is so exciting for me.
Yeah, I agree. To pull off an event like this, it cannot be done without Corporate Bahamas behind us. And so it's been really great to have the support of Corporate Bahamas. Alive has come through. Alive gave a lot of, you know, towards the infrastructure of the programming. Full Call, Sun Oil also, they were actually our first major sponsor that came on board. So we have to say thank you very much to them. And then, of course, the Sean Connery Foundation. Something that's very near and dear to them is ensuring that at some point in the future, every Bahamian will know how to swim. And so when they jumped on board with us, we were over the moon, because being an island nation, why would we not be able to swim?
Biggest question for you. I've been trying to answer.
Whenever I talk to people about swimming in the Bahamas, they're like, oh, well, it's so easy. You grow up surrounded by water. I'm like, well, actually, I know when I was swimming, the statistic was 75% of Bahamians don't know how to swim. And it's terrifying, because you still want to go to the ocean and you still want to have fun with your friends, but we end up running into a situation where if your parent doesn't know how to swim and you get into the water, it is devastating results. And having to know that parents can sometimes watch their child struggle and not be able to do anything about it. So it's amazing that the Sean Connery Foundation, I know they did a little bit of a partnership with Let's Swim Bahamas, who is also working towards getting every Bahamian the opportunity to learn how to swim.
Right. Yeah, as you said, there's really no reason that we should have drownings. Everybody should know how to swim. And so it's really important that sponsors such as the Sean Connery Foundation are able to come on just to help us. And, you know, it's really important because what they're doing, along with Let's Swim Bahamas, is getting swimming into the public schools. And so just having Bahamians across the broad, you know, from north to south, east to west, private school, public school, wherever. Everybody needs to know how to swim. And so we're really grateful to the Sean Connery Foundation for highlighting that need for us.
It's also, swimming can sometimes be looked at a little bit more of an expensive sport. So really, it's like, it's not just access to a pool sometimes. No. It's just not even knowing what you need and how to get started. So amazing to have people really stepping up and helping out with that.
Yes, and I would be remiss if we didn't thank the government for also being involved in that, because like I said, it's important that we're able to get this into the public schools, into the education system, so that there is no excuse. Once it's in the schools, then it happens.
Every nation that I've seen that succeeded at international stage, they got it in at the elementary schools, the primary schools. Everybody learned how to swim. Even though you don't continue, you at least learn how to swim.
Even if it's just the basics or safety.
Basics.
Yeah.
So it is a great testament to Bahamas for everything that you guys are doing, especially for the government and all the sponsors, because you're seeing the vision.
Yes.
Not the same time that I was going to say a Jamaican thing, not going to say, but what we do today is not for today, it's for the future and for the future children. So I really applaud you guys for that vision of being the rising star of the Caribbean.
I mean, you can see it in the fact that we're going for our 6th CARIFTA. I shouldn't say we, I should be unbiased, but we are going for our 6th CARIFTA championship. And that means that there are more Bahamians out there swimming and getting into the sport. And it's not just it used to be a lot of Nasuvians that were in the sport, and now we have Grand Bahama coming in. I know there's Abaco swim team, so really including all of the islands in that venture, and it's not just focused on Nassau and where the capital is, and the fact that the ministry is really getting out there and doing it on other islands is really important as well.
What is important is that swimming is a commitment of the government, and the government has already said that they're going to ensure that what needs to be done is done. And so we look forward to seeing 7 straight or 8 straight.
Oh. The rest of the Caribbean islands will put a stop to that, hopefully.
No, never.
Never, ever. That is the cowbell with 100 left to go. We want to thank Zoe Gibson Malik. Thank you so much for coming up and sharing all the sponsors and everything that you guys have been doing so far.
And I want to come back a little bit later so we can talk about some more, because it's been more than just the government and the National Sports Authority. So
we would love to have you come back.
Definitely.
Whenever you're available, come on up.
Coming in, we're going to see that Kimani in lane 5. If you watched, he was definitely trying to go for that record. Eyes on the scoreboard, the record is a 16, 18, 17. You can see him really trying to pick up his tempo. The kick is also being picked up. 25 left to go. It's going to be a close one, but I think he's going to be out of that record spot. But still, a really great swim for Kimani in lane 5.
Really great swim, just by himself out there, pushing himself.
Yeah.
Still nothing to be ashamed of.
Really great swim. 16:25 for Kimani. Really great points from Martinique on the board as well. We're going to see a lot more swimmers from Martinique later on tonight.
And remember, we're also keeping an eye out on lane 1 there. Joey is racing from the heat earlier this morning. He had to beat a 17:46, so we'll see.
Really great swim for lane 6, Wills. He definitely dropped his time. He should be excited with that. But the time to beat is 17:46. Over here in lane 1 for that 13-14 position. He is going to be very close. He has to come back faster than a 41. It is possible.
Absolutely amazing swim across the board there. And again, out of respect, love to see the kids stay in the pool. They're not getting out of the pool until everybody's done.
Yes. Oh, he's coming in. It looks like he's going to do it. 17:46 is the time to beat from this morning.
Oh, and he's turning on the gas there. Excellent job.
No, oh, look at him excited. Oh, he saw his own race and he did it. He was second in this event last year, and finally, Joey will get that gold unofficially with a 17:38.32 to win that 13-14 category.
Very impressive that he was able to do that by himself, really.
Yeah.
His own race, was able to keep his eye on the prize. He's still celebrating, super excited. Love to see that energy after a whole entire mile.
To think you had that much left.
They would have to pull me out of the pool.
Really nice swim for him. Wow, we watched two fantastic swims already to start the final session in session 2 on day 1 of the 37th CARIFTA Games. Wow. Just rethinking back on that 800, we saw that Harper really took her own race very close to her best time. Really went under it, almost under that 9 minutes, 19:03. Almost under that 9 minute mark. Fantastic swim for her.
Absolutely. So we're going to have awards now. So we're going to see those ladies again coming up on the block or up on the podium, and listening to those lovely national anthems.
And a reminder, you're going to see 2 for each event. So we're going to see 13-14 women and then 13-14 women and then 15-17 women. Man, we had a record being broken this morning in the 100 butterfly. We had another one this afternoon by Heidi in lanes from Barbados, breaking that 9:11 by 0.01. And it's really just the beginning of the competition. 2 events in.
Yeah, I mean, this is shaping up to be an amazing meet.
And
just seeing this energy out of the 800 and 1500.
Olympic year always does something to people.
It does.
It gets people
It's
excited.
a magical year, even if you're not planning on going.
Even if.
It's just...
You can feel it.
You can feel it. It is. There's an energy shift.
It is 2024.
I just need to figure out how to go to the Olympics without competing. How does one do that?
You go into leadership. So I am part of World Aquatics Athlete Committee. So I will be there.
Oh,
watching.
How do I get an invite?
Cheering.
So we are still waiting for these events to come, or for these podiums to start here, and you'll see everybody kind of collecting and watching as they get to cheer on their teammates getting up on that podium. Very exciting. And again, we have to look at this from a team perspective as well. These medals, while top 3 is really important because you get to be on the podium, we are also still looking really... It's 9 points down to 1 point across the board for these competitors. So every single position matters. We want to make sure that everybody is getting their hands on the wall and finishing fast. Ooh, I love that Junkanoo outfit that we have. I love that.
It's always great when you can put a little bit of the culture into every competition.
Absolutely. I love seeing that. Even in the Caribbean, where everybody's culture, you would think from an outsider that everybody's very similar, but our cultures are very different.
Wow. A part of this organization team and everybody who created such a fantastic event so far in day 1, we have Jarell Mullings. I am very sorry if I pronounced that wrong.
That is correct.
Okay, good show. She's the CEO of the LOC and really a fantastic lady for how much work you put in to make this 37th CARIFTA Games a spectacular event.
About 6 months of intense planning and see it all come together. It's just beautiful.
I could hear it in the sigh just now.
Yes.
It's happening now, so you can kind of hopefully relax a little bit now that it's going off.
It's so worth it.
Yeah, I mean, it's really cool, you know, it's kind of like your baby. Like, you were 9 months, almost 6 months, you said. You were cooking it, you were working on it, all of these things and making sure that it comes together, and absolutely incredible so far. I think it's been an amazing meet.
Yeah,
Such a beautiful baby.
Thank you. Thank you to our amazing team. I mean, what you see here today, it took a lot of work from several entities. The Bahamas Aquatics Bahamas Aquatics, they have a dynamic federation. The Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture, the NSA, all of the other government agencies. We have about 5 government agencies represented here today to make this happen, to put the Bahamas on the global stage and make sure all of our guests, especially our local team, feel at home at a world-class event. So it's just amazing.
I did see the buses leaving the pool this morning rather, and watching with the police escort. And I remember when I was in CARIFTA and having that happen, and you feel so important.
Yes.
It's just like small things like that that really amp up the level of the meet and make the kids really have a great experience.
Right. It's all about those memories. I mean, you're national heroes, and this is your moment. So we just wanted to give our athletes and all of the visiting countries a top-class experience, and hopefully we pull that off.
Absolutely amazing. And I did see, I wasn't here, unfortunately, I didn't make it in time. The opening ceremonies were hosted at the cruise port.
Yes.
How'd that go?
Kudos to our marketing team for coming up with that idea. It was amazing. The junk canoe. We had great support from Bahamian people. All of the visitors just grew to that area. It was breathtaking.
What a great idea. I saw there were 5 cruise ships in port yesterday, so being able to have people that have no idea what's going on and get to experience that part. And again, you talk about the experience for the athletes. I mean, I feel like that would just be absolutely insane.
Yes, the junk canoe, the performances, Bodine, she was just spectacular for them to get the authentic taste of the Bahamas. And the athletes, again, they were highlighted, and I think they had a great time. Just to see their smiles, to see them all dancing the junk canoe, it was amazing.
It's not often that in swimming, Bahamians get to have that feeling. Usually track and field will get a big part of it, and so it's really cool that you guys were able to do that and make that go off, especially on an Easter weekend. I'm sure that added a little bit of stress to everybody, but so far it has been an incredible meet, and that's a testament to the amount of work your team put in.
Yeah, so it was definitely a sacrifice. You know how Bahamians go with their Easter.
We definitely want to talk to you later, but we're going to pause just for a second for the Barbados national anthem.
And again, congratulations to our ladies 13 and 14 in the 800-meter freestyle. Our next presentation, the ladies 15 to 17 800-meter freestyle.
I know it was really difficult to get this going on. 6 months, maybe. Give me some facts. What was the most difficult part to be where we are here today?
The most difficult part, I would say, would definitely be transportation. Yeah, so, you know, with transportation, there are so many changes.
Yeah.
And in the
a lot
ladies,
of flights
15
canceled,
to 17 800-meter
missing
freestyle.
flights.
The
So
bronze
just to
goes
make sure
Grenada.
that when persons travel, they're exhausted. So that's basically their first experience, the first experience they encounter when they land. So we wanted to make sure that was hard and fast and tight. So just being flexible to be able to respond to those changes so that when they come, they feel welcome and provide them with a professional service. So I think that was the most challenging aspect. And then also fundraising. Finances in sports is always a challenge. But again, our marketing and sponsorship team, they kept at it. They kept knocking on doors. It's pretty hard coming off of the pandemic and everything that's transpired. So Corporate Bahamas, they have supported, but it hasn't been as much as in previous years. So that was definitely a challenge. But our team we rolled with the punches. We responded to every challenge, and I can say, I mean, sitting here today, that we overcame those challenges.
Yourself a pat on the back.
Yeah.
Definitely. Coming in, it's such a great relief for parents too who are sending their young children to see that really the support, not just from their country, but from the hosting country as well, that we are taking care of your child.
Yes.
I think that's a really great.
Yes, they're in good
Applause
hands.
again for the national anthem.
And again, congratulations to our ladies, 15 to 17 in the 800-meter freestyle.
CARIFTA champion Harper Barman from Cayman. Really great swim for her this morning. And I think it's a testament to what you have done for this competition, because staying on the timeline, making sure there's already, making it be as official as possible, so it's an easy transition for these athletes to go on the international stage. There's no division, and I think that's really great and something we miss growing up.
Right.
There was just a huge, like, what is this? What is this ready room? Where are we? What is going on?
Yes.
So for it to be professional at the CARIFTA level, from the 11-12s all the way up, I think it's a great testament to the education that we're moving in the right direction.
Yeah.
And what these athletes can do.
These athletes are our future leaders, our future heroes, and I believe that they make the sacrifices just like our professional or elite athletes at the higher level. So they put in work. They wake up at 4 in the morning and train as well. So when we have the opportunity to give back to them at a high level, I think that that's what we should do. Yeah. Definitely advocate for it.
Definitely.
Yeah. Is there anything you want to say to your sponsors or people who have helped you throughout the rest of your team? Because I know it's not an individual.
Yeah.
No, it was all Jarrell.
Oh, my
not
God.
me at all.
We have the same birthday, so I'm assuming it's that December 11th vibe.
Okay,
We can do it.
I cannot take credit. We have a dynamic team. I mean, just our senior directors of the different LECs. We have Georgette Albury and all of these are BAQ officials as well as Ministry of Education. She managed operations.
Yeah.
She's amazing. She had about 6 subcommittees, and everything is smooth. Logistics, transportation, meals, volunteers. Like, she was definitely the go-to person for that. Zoe and Lynn in marketing and PR. I mean, they brought in a significant amount of sponsors. We're really grateful, particularly for Focal and the Sean Connery Foundation.
Yeah.
They were our major partners in this, Alive as well.
Yeah.
So, and it took work, trust me. Those ladies, negotiation, charisma, and just showing our sponsors what it is that we're presenting to them.
Voluntary work.
Yes.
Yeah. Right there.
Yeah. Oh, it's another one?
Okay. So we have our 13-14 rather champions here about to get the record or national anthem played.
And again, congratulations to William
Fantastic
Farrington,
swim for him. That is a
Lennox
13-14
Wheatley,
1500
and our
freestyle winner, Joey Chavez, coming in for that top spot.
Yeah.
getting the gold.
So.
No, I just wanted to thank you for coming up and talking with us. A really great time, and as you can see, everybody's having a fantastic time. I spoke to a lot of the athletes. This is a great championship. They're excited to swim. They're excited to come back again each day and do better. Yeah. And I think that's a testament to everything, from the volunteers, to the timekeepers, to the officials, to the coaches, everything that you managed to.
Yes. Thank you so
We'll have
much.
to come back at the end when you're done and tell us how it all felt it went.
I think all I'm going to do is dance.
Yeah. You deserve it.
All right. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you for joining us.
All the best.
Coming up, we have the final medal ceremony, the men 15 and 17, 1500 freestyle. We saw that dominant swim by Kimani from Martinique. We're going to see him take that top spot.
The silver
You're going to see a lot of these guys later on today. Keep your eyes out for Jeremy Christian. He's found in this heat as well. He's going to come back again in the butterfly later on today. Hopefully he got a chance to warm down in between this medal ceremony and after that 1500.
Absolutely amazing to see two Caymanian swimmers on the podium. They have definitely grown their program amazingly.
I mean, the men's 1500, and it's Cayman, and Martinique. That is fantastic.
Very impressive.
Yes. Beautiful dresses. I really like that outfit.
I didn't see the seahorse until I turned around.
He's big.
I was confused. I was like, what are you talking about? What seahorse? And then I saw,
There is a seahorse here, the mascot for the 37th CARIFTA Games.
We're going to listen to the national anthem again.
And again, congratulations to our gentlemen.
That's the first time I've heard the Martinique anthem.
I don't think I've heard that before.
I really liked it. I wanted to hear more of it.
Cayman Islands, the bronze and the silver, and Martinique.
That was fantastic.
Bellinger, the gold.
So we will have the 200 breaststroke coming up. This is Alia's domain, breaststroke.
We're going to start at hopefully 7 o'clock. I'm seeing the ladies line up already. I don't know if we're going to go a bit early.
It looks like we are a little bit ahead of schedule, and that's really important for coaches to make sure that they walk their swimmers through that. The heat sheet has a time set of 7 o'clock, so you want to go off of that, but sometimes that isn't always the case, so just making sure that you are prepared for whenever it's time.
And that is going to do it for this series of awards. Getting ready next to...
They're still deciding right now. The ladies are lined up. But luckily, they still have their jackets to keep warm.
And it's the 11 and 12 ladies.
You also will see, if you have a copy of the heat sheet and you're looking at it, there are alternates. So what happens with those alternates is that if somebody doesn't show up to the ready room, one of the alternates is pulled in. So oftentimes they are suited up, ready to go. They should be, at least.
They should be.
I have watched an alternate not think that they were going to get pulled in and have to race to put a suit on. So better be prepared.
This is going to be a fantastic race. We saw early this morning, we saw Isabella from Bahamas really take out that fast, the first 100, and she was able to bring it back. I think it was a fantastic swim for her.
Absolutely, and really was able to drop time, if I recall correctly.
Yes.
So will be interesting to see. She was entered at a 3:03 this morning and ended up, and now she's back here at a 2:58.
Yeah.
That's a pretty significant drop. Can she do it again?
The only one under 3 minutes. We're definitely going to see her try to take that early lead. Keep your eyes out for lane 2. Kia, she went out pretty fast this morning. I'm not sure if she's going to use the same strategy, but we're definitely going to watch that. And then keep your eyes out for Menace in lane 3. She had a fantastic second back half this morning. So it's really going to be a great race for all competitors.
And we have to remember that Kia and Isabel were in different heats, so they are now together, being able to watch each other. So it's going to be interesting to see how this race shakes out.
Definitely. I always love to swim that 200, just really working on the underwaters and keeping your stroke as long as possible. So that's what I'm going to look for in this next event. But coming up, these 11, 12-year-olds are really going to do a great job of just holding their tempo because they have the energy.
Ooh, I made a face when Alia said 200. He liked. Those words never went together in my vocabulary.
And the 11, 12, 200-meter breaststroke girls have just started.
So I'm pretty certain that we'll probably see a really close race here between all of the lanes, probably up until about the 100, and then we'll start to spread out a little bit.
Yes.
But again, in this 200, as Alia was saying, that turn is really important. That pull out underwater can make the difference in first or second or third.
Yeah. Isabella is going strong. She was out in a 39.22 this morning. And we're going to see her right on that with a 38.08.
Oh, wow.
Very nice for Isabella.
Excellent speed from her. I hope we see her in that 100 breaststroke out at a 38.08. That's great speed, especially at a 200.
Wow.
You know, I remember the good old days of 11-12. You don't know what pain feels like, really.
You don't.
You're not scared.
You don't.
So, not scared.
The lactic acid does not set in yet.
No.
And it recovers a lot quicker for her to do back-to-back events.
Isabel has a great stroke, very low in the water.
She was out in a 125 this morning. She's going to be well under that with a 124.99.
So now we watch, and can she hold on to that lead?
There is Menace trying to catch and get into that second position, followed by Alert in lane 2 and Ferguson in lane 5. It is Bahamas in lane 4 and 5 trying to get their points on the board. But it is Isabella holding on for that top spot. 75 left to go in this 200 breaststroke. You can hear the crowd getting excited. Jamaica, Bahamas, and Barbados for that 1, 2, 3, 4. It is a race.
Absolutely tight race still. It really looks like Isabella's pulling away and that she might have this in the basket, but it is still, she still has a 50 to go.
We saw Menace in lane 3 come back really strong at the end of her 200. She's going to try and do that again.
Definitely looks like Isabella is almost picking up the pace there.
Yes.
Absolute insanity at the end. She's taking it out fast, and she's been able to hold on and almost find another gear.
She has definitely picked up her pace at the end of this 200. Her time this morning, 2:58, is in jeopardy. She can definitely go faster. But Menace is trying to catch her, followed by a race in that third position. It's Jamaica Alert in lane 2, Ferguson in lane 5, and Sterling in lane 6.
Isabella's really taken a wide gap on this race.
Yes.
Very exciting to watch that swim by her.
Really great swim for Isabella. She's going to be right on her morning swim. Touching with a 2:59.09 for Bahamas to get that top spot, followed by Barbados for that second position. It's a race, and into the wall it is Jamaica with a 3:04.32 by Kia Alert. Bahamas, Barbados, and Jamaica for that 1, 2, 3 for the women's. Ladies, 11, 12, 200 breaststroke.
Isabel's there celebrating. Got that win for the Bahamas. Very exciting.
Points on the board for Bahamas for that first position and that fourth position.
Absolutely exciting race by Isabel there. She really took it out and kept strong coming back.
She really did.
She was out just a little bit faster on that first 100, and that might have ended up hurting her a little bit on the back end because she did come back slower, but you live and you learn. That's a great swim for her, and having that experience is really going to bode well for her going into next year and coming back and being in the 13-14 age group.
Yes, definitely saw it because this morning she came back with such a fast tempo at the end of this 100. But this afternoon she was definitely hurting, so it's a right call. That first 50 really pushed her, but she went for it. And it's not necessarily about times. She wanted to get points, and Bahamas got first and fifth.
And she was still faster than what she was entered in, so if she hadn't have swum this morning, that would have been a best time.
Yes.
So very impressive, especially at this age. This is potentially probably her second international swim meet at this level. So being able to come back and have the nerves in you and have a great race still is very exciting.
That is a really great swim, and the Bahamas team is definitely shouting for joy as they won that first event.
Definitely exciting to watch them celebrate and that win there.
As we said before, Bahamas has breaststrokers, and we're seeing it again with Isabella.
Very exciting there. So now we have the boys 11 and 12, 200 breaststroke walking out here.
These records are insanely fast. I saw Shade with a 2:47 for the girls, and the boys, Sam Wilson with a 2:36.
That is,
oh my gosh,
absurd.
Wow. It's a testament to see where the Caribbean is going, because we have the potential. if we can develop them and get them to the international stage and allow them to persevere and continue, we could definitely see some international champions.
Absolutely, and again, seeing the 18 and over category here is, I think, really incredible.
Yes.
It gives these kids an opportunity to watch those 18 and overs that usually will age out and they don't ever see them again.
Yeah.
Number 3, St. Vincent.
Lane 4, we saw Ethan this morning really dominant in his race.
So the 11-12 boys only had one heat this morning, so it's really kind of a replication of what we saw this morning. But the lanes are shaken up a little bit. We had Christian Joseph that was out in lane 0. He had no time and is now in lane 5, which is second seed. So very excited to see how this goes with him being in the center of the pool.
It was a really great swim for him.
Was it Christian that didn't have any underwaters?
He did not. I really hope he has some this afternoon.
We'll see if his coach talked to him about that. It was like, hey, let's conserve some energy.
He's going to be in the 100 fly later today, and he has underwaters in the 100 fly. So he can do it. But there is a conversation that if you're not good in underwaters, then why bother do it rather than get better at it? So I'm hoping it's not his case.
It is a fine line.
200-meter breaststroke championship finals.
I am really happy at the number of 11-year-olds that are here. We're going to see them again next year. Really dominant in this event. And that is the start of the boys' 11-12 200-meter breaststroke.
So we should again see a pretty close race here. Ethan is 10 seconds faster than the next one, so hopefully he came in feeling like the big man on top and isn't going to go out too fast and will still swim a great race, but we might see him pull away a little bit faster than the rest of the group.
Joseph from this morning, he was in the outside lane, so he couldn't really see anybody, but now he can, and he is staying with Ethan. He knows what he has to do, especially seeing his teammate win in the previous heat. He knows he wants a medal.
Definitely going to be interesting to see this. They are all really keeping very close to Ethan here, and so Ethan will age out next year, but a couple of these gentlemen will be here again next year. So learning from this opportunity to be the top of the age group next year.
Yeah, this is Keon's first international. He's 11 and he's in lane 3, and he is going with the big boys. The big boys, the 1-year-old.
The 1-year-older boys.
He is fading just a bit now, but hopefully he can still have a great race. But in front, it is Ethan and Joseph.
Joseph has absolutely got a long, very good stroke there. Looks like he is doing a pullout. Wow.
Good job. Woo. You can see the difference now, Joseph. Out in a 122, that's a really great split for these gentlemen. Come back in that 130, we're going to see that 250 range any faster than that, and they could go under 250. And another best time for Joseph if he can keep up this tempo with 75 left to go.
I mean, he looks like he is really holding on there, so very excited to see what he ends up hitting here. He hasn't fallen off the pace at all. And, you know, sometimes because this morning was his first time doing it, potentially, he didn't know what he was capable of. So now he's like, okay, again, they don't feel pain. So
I can do that again and again and again.
I can do that faster. That was easy.
Ethan turning first for Trinidad in lane 4, but Joseph is definitely trying to catch him. There is that race for that 3rd position.
And remember, we are top 8 gets points from 9 points all the way down to 1 point. So every point matters. You want to still get your hand on the wall.
It is funny because it's a race for 11-year-olds for that 3rd position between Zayron in lane 6, Keon in lane 2, and Leonard in lane 3. But it is all Ethan as he's pulling away from the rest of the pack. Time this morning is a 2:51. He's going to be under that. He needs to get his hands on the wall. And it is.